All right, guys, so look, today I'm gonna go ahead and show you how the 30-minute chart is going to make you a lot of money, right? So you always want to look at the higher time frames in trading before to establish a trend. You want to catch a trend, right? Because that's what's going to make you money. And basically, I'm going to show you today how you set up the 30-minute chart to actually do this, okay? So without further ado, first thing we're going to do is get our levels down, right? Now the levels are going to help us identify the structure. It's going to show us certain reaction points, certain places where they're going to put stop losses. So let's actually do that real quick right here. So we're going to have off the previous highs, right? We see this top wick, that's a previous high, right? So we're going to put, boom, that's going to be our first level. And we're going to start from left to right because it's going to be in order of, you know, where you go. Another previous high right here, boom, possible level. Now these are all, you know, not 100%. Boom, another high. But it usually always works. Look, this level has an inverse head and shoulder, came back down, boom. So it's usually, you know, all the highs, all the lows, they're always going to give you a level. So boom, we got a level right there. And this, you see, this is a level 2, but I'd say this is a stop hunt for this level. So people sold right here at this level, right? Came back up, stopped them out, came back down, see, boom, then it sold. So look, this high right here is going to be a level, and let's move it just a little bit over right there. Then this high is going to be a level right here. We see this wick from left to right, right? We're going to always read the chart from left to right, so that's a level right there. And I'd say right there, this previous top, boom, okay. Excuse me, I'm a little sick, but there we go. We have our perfect levels right there, right? So we can see now a little bit the structure, even though the 30 minutes is just going to really give you the trend. You don't want to focus on structure too much on the 30 minute. You do, but not too much. So we're going to focus on mostly the trend. So let's get our bearish algos down first, right? So these are going to be controlled buying algos, but so they're technically like it's bearish liquidity building, right? So it's a bearish algo, but it is for the buyers because it is at the end of the day pointing up, right? Just like the selling algos, controlled selling is going to be for the sellers. I mean, the buyers, right? So boom, right there off those top wicks. Now we got our controlled buying. So what does controlled buying always do? Builds liquidity in here, builds liquidity in here. Before we sell, we're going to stop people out, boom, and then we're going to sell out of it, right? We broke back into it, stop people out, boom, sell back into it, okay? So we see these small little sweeps of liquidity right here. It's very precise, right? And if we come up here, we see this little sweep as well right here. So it's very precise. It always sweeps out a little bit right before we're going to sell. So that's usually our cue to sell, but we also have to see the liquidity built inside, right? So that's going to be our controlled buying right there. We're going to start it from here, and then our end is going to be right here, okay? That's the range that we're looking at. So okay, we got controlled buying up. Let's extend it even one more because there is one more right here. Boom. And how are we getting this, right? We're getting it because we know the angle, right? So it comes with practice. I'm trying not to get that level. And we're getting it off the bottom wicks, right? So we see this bottom wick right there, right here. Boom. And look at that, how beautifully it follows. Buy off there, stop them out, buy off again, boom. Okay. So now let's get our controlled selling algo, right? So our controlled selling algo is going to be something like that. We're going to make that purple, okay? Now the angles, you just got to practice, you got to learn, keep looking at them over and over again, and eventually you'll know. So this is going to be controlled selling. So anything in here you don't really want to play. You could take the controlled selling top to the bottom. That is a possible play usually, right? You'll see it over and over again, but that's a liquidity build algo. You don't want to become liquidity, but when it breaks out, retest, that's when you want to get in on the structure even, boom. Right here, we see a beautiful right shoulder, see a head right here, clear head, right? Because it sweeps the bottom, right? And we have all this liquidity here, all this liquidity here with the magenta. So this is a beautiful bull setup right here, right? And we see it on the 30 minute. So let's identify all of them, right? And you're going to get this off that top wick right there, that green top wick. I'm sorry, actually, that's wrong. That's wrong. You're going to get it off this selling candle right here, boom, and off this selling candle right here. So the two prominent selling highs, right? This one's not a prominent selling high because it's on this algo. So everything has to touch something, if that makes sense. And these lines can extend out as far as they want to, which you'll see in later videos, how a 30-minute goes out, extends very far, boom, breakout, retest, you get it long, right? That's why it works. Now there's one more right here. So yeah, you get the gist of it. You have to find the selling candles, the selling candle highs, right? Now even I sometimes struggle to see exactly, but look, the high selling candle, boom, and then this high selling candle right here, boom. Look at how beautiful that is to the penny, right? Breakout, retest, buy, boom, to the penny. So that's our controlled selling right there. Now we're going to set up our supports. Let's do our supports, right? So how do we get to our supports? We're going to get that off the top of the bull run, right? So you see this little, oops, I'm tapping on the screen like if you see my finger. Right here, you see this little bull run, right? So whenever we have prominent highs, right, we get this support algo right there. Let's make it dark blue so you can see it. Light blue so you can see it. Boom. So that's support. Then they got this little green wick right here, top. That's support right there. Then we're going to have this candle right here. That's support right there. And we're going to have this one right here. Now it's kind of hard to see if you don't really see it too much. But right there, that green candle wick top. So you have to keep learning, identifying, but it's all going to make sense eventually. So look, that's our bullish control algo right there, right? What does this mean? Within this range right here, the buyers are in control. So they're going to be manipulating price, and look, clearly, boom, they took it off, right? So that's going to be our supports. Now, why do we use this support and resistance, right? Because, okay, we got support right here, boom, we got support there again, resistance, right? Support again, resistance, right? We're building liquidity now because we're in the magenta, boom. Buying it off the bottom of magenta, selling it off the resistance, right? Boom, we break the supports, we grab stops, right? Even these stops right here, how do we see this liquidity right here? Boom, get grabbed by the stops, boom, stops break, right? Bottom of blue is always going to be a strong support. That's the control algo. So they're going to start buying it. Boom, previous resistance turns support. Boom, previous resistance turns support. Boom, resistance again. Come down, sweep everybody out, right? Everyone got swept out of the blue right here. We see it, right? And breakout, retest, boom, with the buying algo, okay? Now this is just one example of a bull setup, right? But pretty much previous resistance turns support, and that's how we have an easy run up. Now, we also have the strong buying teal, which is how you want to get into your longer positions, right? So boom, strong buying teal. Let's make it teal. So these are going to be your beautiful longs. And we also have our strong selling green, which usually will have a V taper, which is green to teal. Strong selling before strong buying, or vice versa, strong buying before strong selling. So look, you see that beautiful selling and then strong buying. So what does this do, right? First of all, let's start with the liquidity, right? So we see the blue, right, resistance, right? So the blue resistance, and we see this orange support, right? So the big boys, they're making this wedge, right? They're making this wedge. We see it clearly right there. And all of this liquidity is building in this wedge. Boom, boom, boom. They're not getting in until this wedge breaks. Look, if you wait for the wedge to break, you got a beautiful trade down. Where do you protect it? Right? Previous high, because it's going to be support. Very simple, right? And we have this control selling algo as well. So the buyers are allowing it to come down, right? Which is called a mutual interest. the buyers are allowing it to come down, right? Once we break out of it, all these previous blue resistances turn support, right? Boom, support, boom, and we get carried through to where the previous sellers were. So the sellers start buying at this price. The sellers, they start buying. They get grabbed as liquidity. Boom. Okay. Because remember, shorts have to always cover. Now, what is this also showing us, right? We saw the liquidity wedge, right? But it's also going to show us who's in control of the range. So if green is in control, we know the sellers are going to turn all the blues, right? Even if they are bearish, bullish algos, if we're in the green, that control is by the bears. So they're going to turn all the blues into resistances. If we're in the teal, the buyers are in control. So they're going to turn all the blue into support. So that's another thing. If you want to just take a safer trade, you wait for the stronger control algos to appear. And that's going to help you like identify, who's stronger in the trend, show you who's in control of the range, shows you who's building liquidity in the range, and shows you the wedges, right? Now, the levels are going to help you give you targets. So let's say we're in the teal. We identify that we're in the teal. We want to take it to a previous top, right? For the cup to close. So boom, you don't close that trade unless if it breaks teal or it touches your target, right? It's very simple. It didn't even get threatened here to break teal. So once it breaks teal, you get out. Very simple, easy trade, right? So this is how like simple trading could be. You can have a one risk and infinite reward, because you wait for the line to break, and when the line breaks, okay, I gotta get out. Boom, that's fine. Look, stop hunted, brought it down more. So that's just pretty much what I wanted to say about the 30-minute algo, is that it basically determines a trend, and you want to catch a trend. So you want to see who's in control, get in with who's in control, and follow the big money. So any questions, concerns, leave a like. You already know we have the best in the business. So we have to just keep going, keep challenging yourself, keep getting better. And this is a lifetime skill. You have your whole life to learn. But once you do learn, the wealth and everything that you can accumulate with it is going to be you can't get it anywhere else. So uncomparable to anything else. So let's keep going and never give up on this, because trust me, there's a plan for you. Let's go.